direct.
Sei Alex Russi?
Ja, direct. Direct aussi.
Chica,
Ja, Chong, aquí.
Zit dan, hè?
Aha.
Oh, okay.
Familie? Aha. Nothing. Family for Capachica, La Chong, familie?
No, Capachica,
No sleeping.
no sleeping.
One, two, three, and all is alright. And I hope, and I hope, and I hope that it's light. 1, 2, 3, and all is alright. And I hope, and I hope, and I hope that it's light. 1, 2, 3, and all is alright. And I hope, and I hope, and I hope that it's light. 1, 2, 3, and all is alright. And I hope, and I hope, and I hope.
Tomato soup and then put the pasta into it.
So I'm rapidly bringing to the boil some carrots, some pasta, some chorizo sausage. We're going to dish this out into some bowls here, and we're going to put some tomato sauce in. It's slowly coming to the boil.
I'm gonna get you. Oh, socks and flip-flops.
Yeah, someone needs to get that on film.
This isn't a fashion show, is
I
it?
can tell by your hat.
There's nothing wrong with the hat.
You're only as good as you look.
Exactly. And I look amazing.
Talking of which, does anyone want to have a look at this?
Gotcha. What have we got?
What have we got?
Oh, Jamie.
It's better with the volume up.
I couldn't clip out either.
You sure there's none left in there? Because at the moment we've only got that. What leg?
This is leg 1, day 3.
Leg 6, leg 1, day 3.
Aspirational distance that we want to cover. If we could get to 80k, that'd be glorious. 60k is definitely achievable, but if we get to 60k then we may as well ride it to the 80, because at the 60k point we're at the top of a big hill, so we may as well just descend then, and from there. It is 7k to the border into Bolivia, so if we can get into Bolivia today I will be much as happy. Yeah.
Eating tonight, Trev?
Same thing we ate every night, James.
Alex, talk us through your sleeping arrangements.
Tell you what.
On the bottom we've got 8 centimetres of air padding. That then goes into a 3-season down sleeping bag that's probably a little bit too thin for the conditions. But do not worry, because I have a silk liner. which according to the advertisement will give you an extra 3.2 degrees of warmth.
Through the day.
Long, flat, pretty pacey, and then all of a sudden we just hit this, I don't know what it was. It must have been a mountain, it must have been. We just went up for days, and then it sort of came to the top, and that was it. Warm kit on, flew to the bottom. Massive herbivore, isn't it? Well, apparently I went down a hill a bit too quick and I've hit a few rocks and my panniers bounced, and now I'm fixing it because that one came clean off. I don't think Velcro's best thing for it, if I'm honest, but...
What's on the menu tonight?
I think we're going for pasta and tomato sauce. A bit of chorizo sausage down there. Oh yeah, and carrot. Some carrots. I think I'm doing the cooking then, looks like it.
Evening 55
Is all that pasta
kilometres in
Yeah, it is.
a hell of a long time. It's pretty slow. But more importantly, just over 1,000 metres of vertical ascent. And this chocolate tastes phenomenal.
Does it? Why aren't you sharing it?
There!
Some people, eh? I actually know where we are. It begins with H. But one of these local guys has let us into his garage. Hence the luxury you see before you. And yeah, we've just smashed our beautiful evening meal of pasta.
So what we're doing...
Explain the last...
so the last 24 hours have been rather emotional. We were up in the mountains, decided that we weren't making sufficient progress and it was best to just try and get out there as soon as possible. We then got ourselves on a nice little bus, local bus, all the bikes underneath. Midway through the journey it was a overnight bus, so what, 4 hours in, unfortunately Alex came down with a bit of diarrhoea. He's then been in a bad way ever since, really. So he's gone, we're now in a place called Kanani. He overnighted it in a hostel-y type thing. I say it was a thing, it wasn't really real Western accommodation. Him and Jamie had a nice bed to share, everyone else slept on the street. So yeah, that was gleaming. So we then got our heads down on the street for 4 hours. We've now woken up, we've commandeered a local van, as you can see. All the bikes are in there. So most of the group are going to, and the bikes are going to make their way to Aurora, and Jamie and I are going to try and source another local vehicle to get us there. If not, then we're back on the bike.
The altitude's kicking our ass.
Shoot. Everything seems to look the same, feel the same. Just the arse is getting sorer.
I got a void that needs filling and some time to kill. Why don't you meet me at Qdoba and I'll cover the bill? Cause you
Salt flats are slightly wet and flooded at this time of year, like potentially knee, shin deep in places. So now the plan is to take a 4x4 Jeep Safari and go and see all the interesting places on the salt flats. And then tomorrow we'll jump on the bikes and box around them, take the road around them.
Do you think we could have ridden it?
No. We could have ridden it, yes, but we would have got very wet. The kit would have got soaking, and then we've got another 6 days before we get into another town.
And where would we stay?
Yes.
I think it would have been a pretty miserable experience.
It would have been, yeah, definitely would have been thermal resting to lie low.
Yeah. Or just not sleeping.
Initially the plan was to go down from Villarolo to head out to the west, and then you run down this bit here, which is known as cyclist route, and you run down here through past all these lagunas, and it's incredibly remote. So the route that I'd initially looked at was to run down here, and then running down this cyclist route and then down to San Pedro, all crossing at the same point. The other option is to go from where we are now, Villa Lotta, and then just head due south, staying on the same main road. The dramas we're thinking on going in the most remote route is sourcing water and food, or the safer bet, which, considering it's getting particularly hot already, would be then to stay on this main road and head south. But it'll be, I think, I haven't done any research on this route, but the assumption is that it'll be the same as the route we've been on for the last 2 days. What does everyone want to do? How extreme do we want to go?
Because at Villamar we've got 2 options, haven't we?
Yeah, there is a route that goes...
Stay on the road or come west. It's kind of the best of both worlds.
I think Jim's probably right, go to Villamar and then we can look from there.
Yeah, I think he's right.
Caught out a horrendous thunderstorm earlier, and we took shelter under a bridge. What's on the menu? Tonight we've got changed to the regular menu, and we're going to have pasta, tomato sauce and tuna. But unfortunately we're racing the sunset because we're a little bit later than we normally are.
How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's tough. The altitude's kicking our ass.
This is the famous signposted hot springs of Bolivia.
Yeah.
Should see. It's pretty poor.
It's been fantastic. Wonderful night's sleep in this beautiful lodge, and then 100 kilometers to San Pedro, so I can't complain.
I got a void that needs filling and some time to kill. Why don't you meet me at Cuba and I'll cover the bill? Cause you know I'm good at spending money I don't have. And if no one's throw me olive branches I don't grab. Put the water in the pot and boil all of it out. What's the point of living if I don't contribute to drought? Go ahead, leave me at the bottom and I'll float to the top. I'll write a hook, line, sinker, still commercially flop. Got a heart on my sleeve but I don't know whose it is. I don't know where it's from and I don't know who to give it to. It could be you, it could be someone else.
Today,
it's been good for the most part. We just hit a very muddy bit.
Right. One more.
What else you got for lunch? What's that nutritious thing there?
This nutritious thing. The instant lunch. So I bought a Polo Peniche, I think.
What do you think that means?
I think it means spicy chicken. Because I've got
Is
a
that
chili.
because you had the same one yesterday?
No, it's because I've got a chicken with a chili sign next to it.
So yeah, we left San Pedro yesterday, and then we camped out there in the Atacama Desert in the middle of quite a fun sandstorm. It was quite difficult to put the tents up on that, but it was alright. We're just fixing up lunch. We've got some nice avocado, tomatoes and pasta. Jim's broke his tent, so he's fixing that up, and young Alex is a bit man down, so he's having a little rest. But other than that, yeah, we're good.
What do you think's wrong with Alex?
Weakness. He's suffered from it a couple of times on the trip. Once when we were in the Bolivian hills, and again now. But I think he'll get over it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm alive again.
I'm alive.
Had a bit of a moment really. Just had nothing in the legs. Big day tomorrow, big day the next day. And then we're in San Pedro Antonio.
Oh yeah, San Pedro de
Antonio? Is it Antonio?
Where are we going?
Yeah.
San Antonio de la Cobre.
Oh right, yeah.
Completely wrong.
Completely wrong. We better not end up in
San Pedro de Atacama, that's where he came from.
Morale at the minute is definitely, I'd say it's definitely low. People are getting just tired, want to go home, want to get to Salta, just want to get off the bikes really. Everything seems to look the same, feel the same, just the arse is getting sore.
Yeah. How many calories do you reckon we're burning a day?
So yesterday looking at my Garmin was just shy of 5,000 plus your normal being a human on top. So you're looking at 7,000 to 8,000 a day.
And what do you reckon we're consuming?
We're consuming probably about 1,500. So it's yeah, it's a good weight loss plan.
We're in a puddle. We're sleeping in a puddle tonight.
Yeah, everyone had high hopes for today, if I'm honest. We all thought we'd just smash it straight into San Antonio de la Cobre, but we got hit by a massive hailstorm last night, which was entertaining, after a great big feed. And then unfortunately Alex has now come down with a bit of a bad stomach, and then it's just got really bloody cold. But yeah, once we get going it'll be alright. Cool. And hopefully we'll be there for afternoon tea.
Afternoon tea now.
Afternoon
lunch
tea.
is out.
Yeah, lunch is out.
Tea.
We're done with lunch. I had high hopes, but no. Afternoon tea. Some crumpets, cucumber sandwiches. It'll be glorious.
Cool.
Probably not.
How's Carlton this morning?
Well, Carlton this morning isn't the best. He's not himself. He's not been himself since like 2:30 in the morning. Heard him retch. As I look out, he's squatting and it's flying out of his arsehole. To be honest with you, it's not the best description.
Yeah, that's terrible. I can't use that.
But it's true. It's true.
I can't use that.
Cool. Start again. It's the truth. Yeah, he's very ill this morning.
Okay.
But he'll crack on as he always does. But he's just not himself. Yesterday was tough. It was hot as well. Every time we go to, we just seem to be disappointed with.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need money and food, and we don't have it. So we just got to survive on what we've got. Yeah, we could definitely see the end now. One big day today, and then the rest should be downhill on tarmac. Hopefully, we're relying on map out there, and we know what Alex is like with map out. It's a bit different.
So you saw in one of our earlier clips, Alex suffers routinely from weakness. It struck him again, but a bit worse this time, so we've left him to get the bus with Alex from San Antonio Los Cobres. And the the real men of the expedition have cycled on.